Grian's Minecraft live series is hit once again with Wildlife. Now 6 seasons of destruction, chaos, and bloodlust. From third life to last life to double life to limited life to secret life and now Wildlife. So far, this season has already been pretty good, with Rundog coming back and new teams forming. Here's how the series works. Each person on the server starts off with 6 lives. With 4 or more, you have a dark green name. If you have 3 lives, you're lime green. 2 lives is yellow and you're allowed to kill dark greens. And 1 life is red and you are now allowed to kill literally anyone on the server. This time on the server, if a red or yellow name kills a dark green name, they will take their life and get one of their own. The special aspect of the season is that each session, the game starts off with a wild card which can literally change how the game is played as a whole. Anyway, sorry for the long intro, but in this video, I'm going to be listing my predictions for the first 3 people to die in the series and the last 3 people to die in the series. Let's start off with who I think will be third to last on my list, and that person is SolidarityGaming, also known as Jimmy. Jimmy, to put it lightly, isn't really that great at Minecraft, and throughout every single season, he has placed last except for 1, which was last season. However, I'm putting him third to last on my list because of his team. It's called the Bamboozlers, which has good types of Scar, LD Shadow Lady, and obviously Jimmy. Now, LD Shadow Lady is pretty weak as a live series player, but Scar did win Secret Life last season, and I'd say is definitely capable of helping out his teammates. However, Jimmy hasn't really been adapting well to the wildcards, like how he would end up dying to a snail in Session 3. I could go on and on about some dumb decisions she's made throughout the entirety of the live series, but let's move on to who I think will end up placing second to last in the series. MumboJumbo. So Mumbo has really lacked a lot of experience with these types of chaos servers, only being in 2 seasons including Wildlife and ranking pretty low in the other season he was in, which was Last Life. He can never seem to get a strong team on his side, and the team he is on is called the Spanners, which consists of Skizzleman, himself, and Grian. Now I'd say Grian does have a slight advantage since he already knows what the wildcards are and he's okay at setting traps, but those are really the only good things going for the team. Skizzleman isn't really good at Minecraft, and in every single season Skizz has been in, he's placed in the bottom 50% of players. I think Skizz could actually be a liability for the team, potentially taking up resources and not using them well at all. This could lead to Mumbo and Grian's downfall. Mumbo is really good at redstone and all too, but he hasn't really been able to employ those skills into the live series super effectively. Anyways, now let's move on to who I think will place last in Wildlife. I've been hinting at it for this video section, and it's Skizzleman. Skizz has never really been that great at series like these, as in third life he was third to last, in last life he was third to last again, in limited life he was second to last, and in secret life he was 5th to last. I think you can see a pattern from all of those rankings. He's never really been a super strong player of the series, and it doesn't really seem like he can avoid death that well. I mean, he was literally the first person to become a red name in Wildlife. If that isn't a bad sign, then I don't know what is. A good example of him not being a skilled player is in Session 1 of Limited Life, literally dying not once, not twice, but 3 times in one session. Not to mention, in Session 3 whenever the snail modifier was in the game, instead of dying to it once like Jimmy did, he died to it 3 times. I think you should see my point from here. He also isn't really teamed up with good players, but I've already explained that in my section about MumboJumbo, so let's move on. GeminiTay is who I have for third place. Gem doesn't really have a lot of experience with the live series, but from what she has shown, she is very good so far. Last season, which was the only other season she was in, she was third place, and she showed that she was really good at PvP and not afraid to engage in a fight. I would have placed her higher on this list because of her PvP skills, but her team only has herself and Joel. Now, Joel isn't really a bad player by any means, but having such a small team can be bad for Gem, as bigger teams like Ethan and Scott's team can easily kill her. Not really because of her skill, but because the two would be outnumbered. Though even with this small of a team, I still believe that Gem has the potential to thrive in a finale situation. She did do pretty well last season, and she is also probably a bit better this time around, since she's more well versed in the mechanics of the series. Anyways, now let's get on to who I think will place second in Wildlife. ZombieCleo. Cleo isn't really that amazing of a live series player, as she does kind of place in the middle between winning and losing, but I think she's gonna place second because she seems to work with teams pretty well. I mean, yeah, she did place 8th and 9th in Secret and Limited Life, but her and In the Littlewood did place second in Double Life, which I think shows that she is very capable of being helpful. In my opinion, her team is by far the strongest on the server, with herself, Impulse, Pearl, and Scott. Not only is the team one of the best in terms of quantity, but it also has some really good people on it. She's also somehow managed to keep 5 whole lives so far, which is a good sign because she isn't prone to falling for traps or making stupid mistakes. All of this combined with the fact that she has a super strong team shows that she can also do really well in PvP situations. But there's one more person that I think will do slightly better. Smajor, aka Scott. In my opinion, Smajor is one of, if not the best player of the live series, as he's pretty involved in Minecraft Championship and was also able to place fairly high in literally every single season. He's been an avid SMP player in series like these, which I'd say is a huge advantage for him. He also is with Cleo, Impulse, and Pearl's team, which I previously mentioned is definitely the strongest team in the server, and Scott is also definitely top 3 in PvP, which is a good sign. But there we have it. My predictions for the bottom 3 and top 3 players of Wildlife. I want to know what you think some of the players will place, because this list probably isn't perfect and I didn't really do in-depth research for my predictions. So don't forget to like and subscribe. But anyways, goodbye fellow viewers.